Good morning, it's Wednesday, 14th of Feb, 3 minutes past 8 a.m. here in Australia. Here's my latest video blog. I'm going to cover a couple of things today, but I wanted to let everyone know that I got my carbon C60 in olive oil, which is Cliff High's spoken about it a fair bit, and if you don't know what it is, essentially it's a compound that's being tested not necessarily for humans, but it's been tested in the laboratory, and it's been, I think the main purpose of it is to actually extract and support cellular health via hydrogen and some other processes. But so I'm giving it a bit of a trial at the moment, and what I'm actually doing is I'm doing a bit of a flood. I'm taking 2 tablespoons. So I'm taking 1 tablespoon in the morning with a little bit of apple, mixing it in with just a small half shake, just to sort of kill the taste a little bit, and then having another one later in the afternoon. I'll probably do that for the first couple of weeks, and then I'll pull it back to a teaspoon. But yeah, look, if it's something that you wanted to have a look at, just Google carbon 60 and see what all that's about. I'm also looking into a hydrogen water machine. At the moment, I'm very big on filtered water. So I have a reverse osmosis. I actually then distill it. Then I use a vitalizer, which I bought from Japan, which creates a vortex which increases the negative ions and oxygen throughout the water, and actually adds missing essential minerals back into the water. So I'm actually seeing someone today, a specialist in water, a couple of 100 k's away from here, which is going to be pretty exciting. I'm going to do a little bit of footage and some writing about that and put it onto my blogs and onto my Facebook page. And I'm going to be talking about everything from, I suppose, the wands of Ra, talk about carbon C60, and talk about the water. And I'm actually getting a very comprehensive health check, or a cellular health check. So I'm not too sure what's involved, but it's going to be very exciting. But that's all I want to talk about with that. Was just that I got my carbon 60. Now the other thing I want to talk about today was in our groups. I think anyone that's been in the space has noticed that Ether Delta, which is predominantly supports Ethereum or ERC20 tokens, has had a few issues. And I think same with Fork Delta, which has been a little bit of a surprise. Now, I'm not 100% sure why the system seems to be lagging, and I don't think the order sheets are keeping up. And there has been other issues with exchanges. We've seen certain exchanges get hacked. We've seen nodes get hacked, and certain coins have been stolen and redistributed somewhere else. There's no doubt that some exchanges are centralized. There's certain fees. Some exchanges only carry certain coins or tokens, and so you have to actually be signed up to different platforms. And I think that's just part of the space at the moment. You know, you have to do a little bit of work to get access to the tokens and opportunities that you are looking for. But what caught my eye, and we've been talking about it in my Crypto Nuts Insights, is just different exchanges. I mean, you've got the Bitshares decentralized exchange with Open Ledger. They're actually seems to be getting better and better. They're adding a lot more coins on a daily basis, so the choice is getting bigger, which means that it's going to attract more volume. But one that's sort of stuck its head out at me is another new ICO for 2018, which is a CoinMetro, which is basically looking to not only just provide an exchange, but provide a series of other services, and I think even an ETF platform. And I've opened up a few pages, and I was just going to run through just some key information for those who are interested in what CoinMetro is all about. So they have got an ICO token sale, which is starting in about 7 days. But you know what you need to do, if that's your thing, is you need to go and do a little bit of research. So what I've done is I've just done a little bit of highlighting of a few paragraphs, and I'm going to just bring them up, and hopefully it comes up. Here we go. So essentially what CoinMetro is going to be doing is there's going to be having access to an exchange. You'll be able to open up an account, you'll be able to buy and sell crypto, which is pretty pretty standard. They're talking about creating a decentralized exchange, which means that you'll be creating one-on-one smart contracts, and I will go through how they're actually going to secure those contracts and also secure your coins in regards to wallets. So they're talking about a cold storage, which is pretty good. They're also bringing in a third party to support making sure that the security of that is at top notch. They're also looking at high leverage OTC crypto trading, if that's your thing. And I think they're going to be offering a 1 to 5 or something like 1 to 1.5 times your leverage of your digital assets. They're talking about instant withdrawals with a debit card. Now, not many exchanges have been talking about bringing in these particular types of services, and I will go through a little bit of information in regards to what they're doing in regards to regulations and making sure that they're all up to speed in regards to licenses and those type of things. They're also looking at lending and collecting those type of services, and this is again showing you how the space is going to evolve. And I've talked about how different platforms or different applications are going to provide more seamless activity from us, or integration for an individual. So whether it's your banking, whether it's your interaction with services, you're paying your bills, you've got your banking, you've got your crypto, you've got your communications portals, and you've got your being able to trade as well, and you might be able to go and then buy retail through all these different things. So at the moment, they're all sort of working their way through their own particular niche services, and that's what CoinMetro is going to provide a little bit more than what some of the other decentralized exchanges are doing at the moment. If you're on Alpha Delta, you'll be very, very frustrated because there's a lot of great coins on there, and it's been quite hard and difficult to actually buy and trade. Now, they're talking about a crypto ETF board, and I think this is all going to be integrated over a period of time based on their roadmap. Next thing is, I've got a little paragraph highlighted here. Now, I'm just going to read it out. Now, CoinMetro is designed for mainstream adoption and will be an all-in-one solution for crypto geared towards maximizing client value. We will deliver a rock-solid user-focused framework that offers unparalleled mobility between blockchain-based digital assets and traditional markets. The CoinMetro ecosystem will include, number 1, a fast, intuitive exchange. Number 2, a feature-rich trading platform offering unique digital asset investment opportunities. And number 3, a turnkey ICO Express solution. And all services will be accessible via a streamlined web application with a stunning UI, fully integrated with industry-leading blockchain platforms. CoinMetro will price all services using our own digital ERC20 utility token called Coin. Now, next thing I've got is just a little page here. Now, they talk about registrations. I think there's a lot of resistance depending on what jurisdiction you're in. You're going to have to meet certain criteria to get approved by. In America, they're very, very stringent on how you deal with particular tokens, whether it's security or a utility. There's no doubt if you want to be a financial institution, you have to align with certain banking legislation. Now, this is what CoinMetro has to say about this. Now, small exchanges seem to have considerable difficulties with either obtaining or maintaining banking relationships. Immediately upon launch of the CoinMetro exchange, CoinMetro intends to operate as a registered e-money institution. Running a multifaceted fintech platform means that we will require multiple licenses in multiple jurisdictions to remain compliant with in regards to the services we plan to provide. The CoinMetro token sale will be based in Hong Kong and compliant with the regulatory environment there. Moving forward, CoinMetro intends to provide services in jurisdictions where it is licensed or where no license is required. During 2018, CoinMetro intends to apply for licenses in several jurisdictions that cover the full range of planned services. Now, I think this year we're going to see a lot more regulation come through, even in the next few months. If these particular exchanges don't meet certain criteria, audits and security and those sort of things, they're going to find it very hard to maintain relationships with banking, which is at the back end. We don't see that. Obviously, there's money going in and out and all sorts of things that happen. And I think that's a good thing for the space. We want a little bit more confidence. I want to see more decentralized exchanges like CoinMetro and the DEX, and I think there's another one starting up on the EOS platform. I think Bitfinex is going to be starting one called EOS Finex, very similar type of concepts. So there's going to be a bit of a race, and I think the ones that provide more services, provide the coins that people really want, are going to do well. And there's no doubt that I think there's room for competition. There's room for CoinMetro. There's room for EOS Finex, and that's just the nature of business. And it's good for business too, because they'll all work towards providing better services. Next thing is CoinMetro competitive advantage. Now, for new users entering the cryptocurrency space, two essential features are simplicity and the ability to purchase digital assets with fiat. Coinbase GDAX is a clear testament to this, reportedly adding over 100,000 new users per day during peak times in late 2017. Ranking in volume as the world's second largest Bitcoin exchange, Coinbase GDAX is obviously an ambitious project to compete with. However, while Coinbase offers an intuitive user face and easy fiat crypto exchange, it supports a limited number of digital currencies and trading pairs, and its customer support base has been widely criticised by its users, or its customer support has been widely criticised. So CoinMetro integrates fiat support and a user-friendly interface, but offers a much broader range of on-platform functionality like GDAX and Coinbase in one place, and then some. So obviously, Coinbase has done very, very well, and I think that's going to happen when people find it easier to get access. And at the moment, we've still got that issue of having to use our fiat currency and trying to transfer it over to buy our crypto. Now, we've got something similar in, I think it's CoinSpot in Australia. I know they've had some issues at the back end with banking. I also use CoinJar. I mean, that's only got about 5 different cryptos, but it's very reliable and secure. There's obviously a little bit of a premium involved, but I've used it because it was easier, and I think that's going to be the catalyst especially for worldwide adoption. There's a lot of people who are not necessarily that internet savvy, or they just don't want to have to go to the complex process of having to move your funds 3 or 4 times to do what you need to do. We just want one space, one central avenue to be able to get access to the crypto opportunities and tokens and whatever that we so choose. And if CoinMetro is also going to bring out a card and has some other functional aspects to the platform, it sounds like it's got some legs. So next thing I highlighted was, I've jumped into the white paper here. The white paper is quite full on, quite a lot of information for you to read. Now, I've just found a couple of little points here in regards to what they're going to be offering overall. So they're looking at a direct payment process, which is a cryptocurrency and fiat bridge. And I think that's, like I said, I was just talking about, that's going to be a major part of this platform. And if they can show that works, and they've got the banking relationships that allow it, because I think that's the big thing. They have to prove to the banking sector that they're legit, and that's going to have to be full of legislation, I imagine, and certain other relationships that we won't necessarily be privy to. They're also talking about the CoinMetro debit card. Now, at the moment, I think most cryptos and most anyone that's in the space would probably be fair to say that we're not necessarily using our digital assets to buy things. However, I have bought some things with my Bitcoin and some other digital assets, but they've more been personal relationships rather than, say, going to an eBay or an Amazon. I haven't necessarily gone and bought my groceries for the week using Bitcoin or anything like that as yet. But that's going to happen down the track once the financial markets, and this is what I believe is that the entire market will actually get to a certain level of market cap where that type of trading and that type of functional use will actually become a little bit more mainstream, because the price volatility of these particular cryptos will actually narrow and won't be as so aggressive as what we're seeing now. So at the moment, it's more of a speculative asset, a bit of a gamble, getting in there. It's a bit of a high risk sector to be in. Especially from an investment point of view. So you've got to be really, really mindful of what you're doing, and yeah, put your helmet on and do your research, otherwise you can get burnt. But that's not going to stop blockchain. It's not going to stop the intuitive and the initiatives that are coming forward with the amazing blockchain for what it is, and things like CoinMetro are just going to support all of those particular platforms come alive. They're also talking about a trading GUI, and I think that's going to be something that you probably find the next generation, the millennials, they're going to be taught and probably being provided more access within these platforms to actually trade. So they'll probably learn how to trade a little bit more often. And if that's part of these particular apps, you probably find that more people will get involved in the actual energy of economics within these particular cryptocurrencies will actually be a little bit more alive than what you might see in the stock exchange. And I have been talking to my crypto nuts about the energy of economics, and I think it's a big part of this. That's where the money's made. And I know the big boys like movement. They want volume. You want money coming in and out of a space, because you can probably manipulate it a little bit more, and I think you'll see a lot more Autobots and those type of things come into the space. But there's no doubt there's going to be it's going to be more beneficial from an investment point of view, rather than having dead money on the stock exchange and having dilution of stocks, and that's what's happened. And I think it's becoming obsolete, and you'll probably find it will start to swing towards digital assets and cryptocurrency and blockchain versions. Now there's some other stuff. They're talking about a cryptocurrency wallet. Now the wallet's going to have 5 of the largest digital currencies at the beginning. So you've got Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Ripple and LITECOIN. That's what they're talking about initially. They're going to be partnering with BitGo, which is an industry leader in multi-signature and multi-currency wallets. And CoinMetro plans to offer clients convenient and secure services through BitGo's multi-signature technology. So you'll have a lot more of control over your wallets and having access. And obviously, I think they're talking about 2FA, and I'll go into that. There's another little paragraph here. Following our initial launch, CoinMetro plans to incorporate support for additional wallet platforms, adding more and more assets over time. Immediately after launch, we will look to add support for the complete list of the top 10 cryptocurrencies mentioned on CoinMarketCap, including Monero, Dash, Neo, Bitcoin Gold. We will also look to add NEM. Given that we will be developing tools based on the NEM blockchain, we plan to add additional assets over time, including ERC20 tokens, which will form the base for our EFTC platform. And there's more information on these type of things in the white paper. They're also talking about lending. So CoinMetro's unique lending platform is intended to give passive investors an opportunity to earn interest on their cryptocurrency balances and create potential for undercapitalized traders to increase their profits. Our lending platform is envisaged to work by letting lenders state their daily rate on which they are prepared to lend. Borrowers will be able to accept and immediately use underlying assets as margin. I mean, that's going to be for specific people. And there's talking about atomic swaps and all sorts of different things, and having an exchange fee structure that's going to utilize their token. I think they're talking about burning tokens as well, and I'll get to that in a second. So the next one is the CoinMetro platform design. Now, I haven't seen any demonstration yet. I haven't really looked for it yet. I think it's still in the early stages. But I just highlighted this. The user experience is a core aspect of the vision for CoinMetro. We aim to provide a feature-rich platform that combines secure back-end infrastructure with a highly intuitive front-end interface. Simple sign-up, instant access, direct payment processing, asset mobility, and unparalleled customer support are defining features of our vision for the platform. So I imagine it will be pretty much like every other interface, but there will be additional features and like I said, they're going to have all these other wallets that you can have access to. So it's sort of a cross between a decentralized exchange and a Coinbase with I suppose a Spectre, and they're going to have all sorts of different other opportunities for people to manage their crypto assets in a way that they deem fit. Next one is security. Now, we've seen lots of issues with security, whether that's just due to the learning curve of blockchain. Now, there's no doubt it's been a multi-billion-dollar extraction and process for whoever's been able to hack into some of these exchanges has obviously done very well. It's not really the ideal business model, and hopefully what they can do is really tighten it up and secure. And I think we've seen less of it happen. There's been one or two little moments. I think NEM had a fair few coins stolen from a particular exchange not long ago. However, it's going to be tightening up, and what CoinMetro wants to do, and I know that they've got an arrangement with the FX, I don't know if this is FXPIG or if it's FXPIG, who's got a lot of reputation. I know that they've been in the space since 2011, and the company's never been hacked, and there's some information about that in the white paper. And they're also looking to setting up a relationship with BitGo. Now, they're going to be adding two-factor authentication and multi-signature. They're going to have customer keys, BitGo keys and backup keys. They're going to have cold storage, which is the way to go. I think there's been some issues with some of the exchanges having hot wallets or even having access to these particular wallets through nodes, and there's been issues, and hackers have been able to find vulnerabilities and get through there. They're also talking about biometric authorization, and there's a lot of resistance to people giving out their biometrics, but unfortunately it's going to be part of the space. You're either in it or you're not. If you're not willing to put your biometrics forward, you might find that you have limited services. I mean, even one of my banks came forward and they sent me some paperwork recently wanting to know more about me and where I get my money, and I feel like telling them, well, it's none of their business. And I probably will do that in my own little way. I run legitimate businesses here. I take a lot of pride in what I do. However, it doesn't mean that I go around giving away all my information. So at the moment, I'm sort of, I can feel it. There's a bit of resistance towards the biometrics, and definitely having to disclose how I earn my money. I just don't believe it's anyone's business. Whether it's up to me to volunteer that, but it's something I'm going to have to deal with personally. So they're talking about the cold wallet, the warm wallet. There'll be a receive and send wallet, very very basic stuff. But I'm not going to go through that. You can come in, have a look at the CoinMetro white paper if that's what you want to do. Now, again, it's not my job to go and tell you to get into ICOs and buy this token. It's going to make you $1 million, because I don't think that that's part of this space anymore. I think all you can do is show some due diligence. I'm having trouble with that word in the last couple of weeks. However, the reality is that everything is going to have a token. CoinMetro is no different. They are looking at raising some funds. It is part of this ICO space that they've got a concept, and they're going to utilise that opportunity. They've got 500 million coins. They're locking up a whole heap of it. They're also going to be burning coins as part of their fee structure when you actually do some trades, and they've got all of that written down. They've actually spent quite a bit of time explaining how they're going to break down, and they're even holding a certain amount of tokens for 24-month periods just to make sure that the market is not saturated with a certain amount of coins from day one when it hits exchanges, etc., etc. There is information on the token sale. If that's something you want to do, you need to come and read what it's all about. If not, keep your eye out for CoinMetro. Hopefully it's a decentralized exchange that we can all benefit from, and hopefully it's got some great access to fiat, to crypto, as well as a variety of cryptocurrency and tokens that we want to actually have in our portfolios, and maybe some other functional access to increasing our portfolio. Now, this is just the page I got in regards to the burning, and I'll just highlighted it here. In order to create a strong long-term value proposition for coin, we intend that 1%, 5%, 10% or 33% of each fee payment will be burned. As usage of the platform accelerates, the availability of the coin token will diminish, thus decreasing supply and helping to maintain a competitive economic model for coin. So that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about today was CoinMetro, and I'm interested in the exchanges in the sense that I'm pretty happy. I'm with Bittrex at the moment. I use Bittrex, I use Binance, I use the DEX, which is via the Bitshares. I have used Ether Delta. I'm quite comfortable having access to multiple platforms because, like I said, not all tokens and opportunities are available on all the platforms because they've got their own relationships and their own reasons why they support one token over another. Could be due to legal jurisdictions. We know that the US is very different to China. We know that decentralization might take away a lot of that the regulation and control of certain tokens, and maybe some of the centralization, maybe some of the politics that we don't see in the background. So CoinMetro is definitely one to check out. Let me know what you think of it. Is it going to be a good one? Is it something we need? Let me know on my Steem, and let me know in the YouTube comments. I'm just enjoying doing these videos. I think the main reason is because I have to do all this work to get in there and have a look and do the reading, and I do learn a lot more about what it all means. Otherwise they just come and go, and we don't actually see what they're all about. If you're interested in some other left of field talk, come and join my Crypto Nuts Insights. Like I said, there's no real moons and Lambos in there. We're talking about Lightning today, and been talking about C60. We're talking about all sorts of other stuff about life and the universe, but a lot of it's crypto, and it's really good to get like-minded people who are pretty diligent with their research and have links that we might not come across, so you can browse them, and you can skip it if you really want to, but at least just do a quick scan. Might be something of value there, and hopefully that increases and improves your crypto experience. So yeah, like I said, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, guys, and tune in to my next video.